Hello, everyone. My name is Ralica Patcheva,
And my name is Vasily Popov. Ralica plays piano,
and Vasily plays cello, as far as I know. Right?
right? I do.
We are the associate chairs of the chamber music program at Levine, and we are very glad to see you all on Facebook. And we hope that you will enjoy this presentation about what Levine has to offer in terms of chamber music programs. So Vasily and I have been the chairs of this program since 2004. And during this time, as you can imagine, we've seen a number of students through their school years at Levine, or adults who started playing chamber music when we started being chairs and are still playing a lot of chamber music now. So this is kind of exciting. What's also exciting is when we see students who have been during their school years at Levine, and then they graduated, and then they went on, and then they return as adults to join our Levine chamber music programs for adults. So Levine is a pretty exciting place because in all of its departments, but speaking of our department, we try to create programs that really fit the needs of the people who are interested in them. And we've had some programs that have happened for a number of years, and then we've changed them. So, and we have some programs that have been with us for even more years than we've been chairs because people love them so much. So actually, I would like to ask Vasily to tell you about some of the summer programs we had this past summer to get us started.
Actually, Ralica, I totally agree with you. So one of our great things is that now, because we are all online, the participants of our programs come from all over the United States. So we had people from Chicago, people from New York joining us. It was a lot of fun last summer, and we had our bestseller, I can say probably like that, the program which is called Bach Retreat this summer. It was not as many people as we usually have when we are in the concert hall, but still it was a lot of work for me because I was the one who was assembling the videos and coaching, and Ralica was a coach too. Then we had a program called Tune a Day, also a wonderful program where the adults and kids meet together. And for 5 days this week, because we were online and I didn't want to keep them for a long time in front of the computer monitors, it was 7 days program, and we learned five pieces, yes, and presented them in a concert performance. So I would like to share with you video footage that I created to promote our programs, where there is an ensemble from the Bach Retreat of this year, and there is another ensemble plays from the Bach Retreat of, I believe, 2018 was it.
And also a part of a video of the third program that you forgot to mention, the Play In with the Pros workshop,
Oh, this
which
is exciting
a wonderful
thing, yeah.
summer program which invites prize winners from the Mispin Chamber competition, which is a collaboration of Levine and WPA.
Washington Performing Arts, for those of you.
Yeah. So we hope you will enjoy this short video showing the online work that happened this past summer.
And while I'm putting the video on, I wanted to let you know that at the end of the video, I placed our email address for Levine. So it is chambermusic1word at levinemusic.org. Chamber music, one word, at levinemusic.org. And I also prefer email, and I also prefer communication over the phone. So I gave you my phone number, and you can text and give me phone calls if you prefer to do so. So now I start sharing our screen with this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and especially the last part of the video. I really love to see it, how the very little boys and girls play with the adults in the same programs. It's really, really exciting to see how the kids and adults play together. We do it typically during the summer times. During the fall and spring at Levine, we play, kids and adults play in their orchestras. So we have several adult orchestras. Some of them groups meet on Tuesdays and on Fridays. This year everything is online. This is for adults, and there are various requirements, and because there are different coaches, but typically all the performers receive their parts, and then they communicate via Zoom, listen to the recordings together, and work on their music. And the same thing about kids. We have orchestras for kids. For different ages, we can probably divide them age category from 7 to 12 and from 12 to 19. And all the orchestras also will be meeting on the Zoom this year, and with the same conditions. So kids will receive their music and communicate with the orchestral conductors, and play and learn their parts and submit their video recordings, listen to the recordings of their coaches playing this music, and learn about composers and art of composition, how the composers put the music together. So I think that it's really exciting because our orchestras typically are not very big orchestras. No, they range anything from 7, 8, 10 people to 18, 20. And because the orchestras are smaller in size, it's much easier for musicians to hear each other and to hear themselves when they play. And also it offers a unique opportunity for coaches to give more private attention to each of the students and work with them on certain technique, bow technique or finger technique, with woodwinds on breathing, and with all on phrasing, and explore the music together. I think this is about our orchestral program.
So maybe now we should talk a little about our smaller ensembles. We have the Young Artist Quartet program, which Vasily created a number of years ago. Maybe you would like to mention something about it, and then we can show another video.
Young Artist Quartet program is very good program for young participants, young musicians who want to explore the art of trios, quartets, and duos also, with piano or without piano. Typically, the musicians meet on Saturdays, and we have workshops. We perform concerts during the academic year. This year, of course, it's extremely complicated situation with the scheduling for Saturday, because we probably will have many requests, and we will be trying to accommodate everybody. So there might be a situation when we will have a couple of quartets in one class meeting together and playing music for each other. So this is about the quartets. We also, I actually mentioned that we have, besides the orchestras, we have the junior ensembles that are smaller groups for smaller kids, and some of them are just starting in chamber music and starting to learn how to sight read the notes. And it's also very exciting to see how in September, when they come to the first class, they read very, very slowly their melodies, and in May they are already feeling that they are musicians who can sight read something, can do accompany the soloist, and feel very much more confident than they were in the beginning of the year. It's really, really wonderful.
So how about if we show a video of our orchestra performances?
Oh, let's do.
Yes,
Let's do. We have.
And this video actually features, because the last orchestra performance of the kids for the year was online. Vasily suggested to the students, if they, in addition to playing music, a lot of kids do other things. For example, many of them draw or paint. And Vasily suggested that if they are interested, they can submit their artwork. So you will see some artwork together with the performance. And I think it was a beautiful idea and a beautiful result. So I hope you'll enjoy seeing that.
Yes, that was performance of our junior ensembles and chamber orchestras for the last year, and you could see that I always mix different repertoire. So we play Baroque music, we play romantic music. The piece that was played in the beginning was actually beautiful piece. I like it. I love it very much. By Vasily Kalinikov, the Serenade, written for strings only. And then we played the second piece that you heard. It was very challenging. It was a French overture because the pandemic happened in March. I did not count on the program will be online, and it was really challenging for kids, but we did it. French Overture, to those of you who knows what it is, it's the piece of music that starts with the slow part, then goes the fast part. Usually there is a fugue over there, which is pretty challenging, and then this ends with the slow part. But the kids did really fantastic work, and I'm really proud of them. And of course, you probably heard the Ghostbusters at the end. This is the arrangement for the string ensemble, and I invited parents to participate so that they would not feel lonely. So their kids recording something at home, and parents and siblings don't. So everybody was making recordings. It was a lot of great things last year. Yeah.
So now let's talk a little bit about our adults, because we also have orchestras for adults and we also have small ensemble possibilities for adults. So again, Vasily, you're going to have to talk about the orchestra.
For adults, well, we have, as I mentioned, we have several orchestras and ensembles for adults. I can tell you that there is a new orchestra that is called Levine Philharmonic, which is going to meet online for the first semester, but we hope that it will grow with time and will go into the in person. It's for intermediate and advanced players only. And then we have another ensembles for beginners that meet, I believe, on Tuesdays, and they will be meeting online. Then we have the oldest and probably very well known in the area ensemble, which is called Friday Noon Orchestra. It meets on Fridays at noon. Guess why? Because it's called Friday On Time Orchestra. And we meet on Fridays at noon online too, and we perform typically 3 concerts per academic year. And I would like to mention many people, I receive a lot of emails from the potential participants of different groups. They ask how do we place the students. It is very easy. As I mentioned, I included the email and my phone number. You typically, after you send a message to us, either Ralitz or I schedule the audition, and
which is a non-competitive audition. It's
it's
a placement audition.
Placement
we can basically find something for you to do, but we want to place you well, and that's the purpose of the audition.
I also want to mention that I said Ralitz and I. Yes, true, but Levine Philharmonic will be conducted by John Koshne. There are kids' orchestras, a wonderful colleague of mine, violist. Then there are kids' orchestras that, when there will be no pandemic, they will be meeting at Silver Spring by Joelle Arnold. They conducted. She is also wonderful, also violist, and conducts the orchestra. So if you're interested in those groups, we of course forward your information to them, so they will tell you how to audition. But typically what will happen is that we invite you to audition either on Zoom or on Skype, and you play for us your piece. We send you sight reading, and that's it. Voila, you are on a program. With the string quartets and smaller ensembles, I try to put, and I always put the kids in and adults by their level of playing, so that they would have most fun out of the program. And this year, I'm sure that the other coaches will do it and conductors will do it too, but I will definitely include some very simple but music analysis and a little bit of music history in our classes, because it will help kids a lot to, and adults a lot, to learn more about music, about composer, about compositions. It is just necessary to do, especially because we are online, and it's sharing this. I can share the screen with everybody. They can see the parts of the score, which is normally, when you have 20 or 25 participants in a room, not as easy tasks to focus them on this.
Now, we also know from our years at Levine that there are many adults out there who play a lot of chamber music on their own, and we know that many of you guys come to Levine for some of our events, like Chamber Music Sunday, which is in May, which is a day-long workshop of chamber music, or the Miss Bean Chamber competition, where we have divisions for everybody, kids, 2 ages, junior and senior, and then for adults as well. And for college, for musicians who are in college or working on their degrees as well. So we have 4 different divisions in this competition. But we also know that sometimes when you do a lot of chamber music playing on your own in these wonderful communities that are, out there, and, sometimes you feel like you would like maybe 1 or 2 coachings sometime in the winter, or not necessarily waiting until May when we have the day-long workshop. And yes, this is possible at Levine. Again, just contact us if you have a preformed group that you're playing with and you would like to have just a small number of coachings. We can figure this out for you. So in this regard, we're very flexible. Definitely, we recommend this a lot more for adults than for kids, because kids really benefit from regular weekly instruction, whereas adults really appreciate having flexibility. So yes, both of those are possible. So individual, group coachings, 1, 2, 3 of them, let us know by email if you're interested in this. Now, Vasily mentioned that because the studies are online, we often as musicians tend to think first of the disadvantage of, oh, it's not live, oh, we're not in a room, oh, the sound could get slightly distorted or more than slightly distorted. And yes, there are difficulties with online, but obviously, people are figuring them out, I would say, even quicker than maybe one would have thought. But in a certain way, there are some advantages to the online study, and it's really the fact that we can mix elements of theory and music history study into the performing sessions. And we can easily introduce the musicians to materials because everybody has the screen right in front of them and they can see it and they can hear a video, they can hear a recording. So with that in mind, we created a couple of new classes at Levine, which are starting this year, and they will be obviously starting online, and we'll see how they might stay online even when we all go back to live. So I would like to tell you a little bit about those classes. The first one is called Baroque Perspectives, and it is an intergenerational class. Again, like I mentioned in our summer programs, we have classes that are open to both kids. Probably, I would say this class would be best from about age 13 up, and in a moment you will see why, and for adults as well. So this class is a collaboration of the chamber music department and the music history program at Levine. So it will be taught, it's a 9-week class, and it starts in the 3rd week of September, and it will be taught jointly by 2 faculty members, the wonderful harpsichordist and Baroque music specialist Lois Narvi, who is one of the most knowledgeable and at the same time friendly Baroque music experts I know. I can attest to this because I had the pleasure of studying with Lois myself.
Did you have a pleasure to study with unfriendly once?
Well, we can do this in another Facebook session.
Okay.
Baroque musicians tend to be very friendly in general, but Lois is a wonderful musician, and as I said, both knowledgeable and at the same time very approachable and very she knows how to make you feel good while teaching you very interesting things. And the other faculty member is the equally amazing Kenny Stilwell, who is a musicologist, an oboist, an oboe teacher, and a composer. So he's really a treasure trove of knowledge, and he has his own music history classes at Levine. But what we decided to try for this particular class, the Baroque Perspectives, is to have alternating weeks. So 1 week you would be playing your instrument in an online class being taught by Lois Narvi, and you would be learning specifically about Baroque articulation, Baroque ornamentation, all those very mysterious and wonderful things about Baroque music. And the next week you would have a class with Kenny Stilwell, who will tell you not only more about this, but he will tell you a lot about the historical perspective and how people lived in those times and about the lives of the composers. And I hope that the result of this class will be that after 9 weeks, you will feel so much more brave and encouraged when you approach Baroque music.
And start composing too.
Maybe. Yes. So this is the Baroque Perspectives class. It's a 9-week class. And if you have any questions about it, please let me know. I would love to hear them. And again, it's open to keyboard players, both piano and harpsichord, right? Anything. If you have an electronic piano at home, that will work too. It is open to string players, any string players again, all, violin, viola, cello, double bass, viola da gamba, if you have one. And it's also open to woodwind players. Again, it could be flute, could be oboe, could be bassoon, you could be playing recorder.
We already received the requests from recorder players.
Yes, and to tell you the truth, if you're playing a brass instrument and I haven't mentioned it, it's only because I haven't asked my colleagues. But again, if you play a brass instrument and you're interested in this class, please let me know, and I'm sure that you can participate as well. So I hope this will be a fun and very educational class. And maybe we'll play one more video and then I'll tell you about
By the way, while you were talking, the text came to me already. So, guys, it's great that you recorded my cell phone number. So the question is whether it is only local classes that Levine provides, or this is the kind of national. I would say that it's international. You can pass the word about our online classes to everybody and join our classes if it is convenient in terms of time. Some of them are in the morning, some of them are in the evening, but you are welcome to join us. I already mentioned that we had participants in our Bach retreat from the different parts of the country, and it would be really great to have participants from the different parts of the world too. So pass the word around about what we have and join our chamber music team here. So now I would like to play a sample of a video for you that I prepared about the small ensemble classes. It is right over here. And please note that at the end of the video, I listed our email address, which is chambermusic@levinemusic.org, and our phone number, which is 202-445-0302. And you can call or text to this phone number. Yes, there is the video.
Now, back in, I forget, maybe April, I don't know what you guys have been, what you guys have discovered during this very online time, but I discovered opera for myself. I had seen some opera before, and I had some operas that I really loved, but I had never seen as much opera as the Metropolitan Opera is showing now online. We can all watch it free any evening, and so one of the exciting things I heard there was their online gala, which featured all these amazing singers that sing on their stage, presenting performances from their living rooms mostly to benefit the Met. And I was so impressed by this, and I thought, wow, that must be even harder than singing on the stage of the Met. You know, to really get yourself in this opera singer mode while being in your living room. And I thought that would be a great thing to do as a class. So the other new class that I thought would really benefit from being an online class is called Opera Scenes Online. And this is for opera singers, for you guys out there who are studying voice and love opera. This is a class that will be taught jointly. I'm collaborating on this class with the wonderful singer and the chair of the vocal department at Levine, Miss Joyce Lundy. And we will be alternating with Miss Lundy and teaching alternate weeks of this class. It is again an 8-week class that starts, I think, in early October. And we hope to encourage young singers of any level where you feel you can approach opera. So I would say this is an adult class because I think singers start singing when they're almost adults. And Joyce will be able to really tell you, advise you on repertoire, or you can come with some repertoire suggestions from your own teacher and coach. But we're hoping to work again a little bit on exploring the role, how you create a character, how you research the background of this character, and how to get inspired and stage it in a way while being in your living room or wherever you're taking that Zoom call from. So this is called Opera Scenes Online. And again, if you have any questions about this new class, please contact me. The easiest thing, again, is to do it at chambermusic@levinemusic.org. And I will be answering your questions together with Joyce Lundy, with whom we will be teaching this class together. So I think I introduced our new classes for this year, and we mentioned all the classes that we've had in the past and we're continuing to have: the Junior Chamber Ensemble, the Levine Chamber Orchestra. Those are the kid level classes. And then we have the Friday Noon Orchestra and the Levine Philharmonic, which are for adults, and the small ensembles program. So at this point, I think we are ready to start answering
also
some
Levine
questions.
Beginner Orchestra, Levine Intermediate Orchestra. So you can find all this information either by emailing to us, and we can send you this information, or by going on the website. Give us phone calls at 202-445-0302.
And I see a question here that is actually a very interesting question that really does need to be addressed. What sets chamber music apart from other music, or what makes it different? Chamber music is not different from other music, but what it is playing together with other people. Sometimes it's also called collaborative music, but that's usually used for piano. For example, there is a degree that you can make in collaborative piano, which means you're playing more with other people than playing just solo. So chamber music really means, for our purposes, it means that you are collaborating with other musicians of your level or of your age. In different situations it would be different. Originally, chamber music was called chamber from the word chamber, which meant room, and of course the room could be either a more normal size room and people played smaller pieces in smaller rooms, or the room could be something big, in a palace or in a big house, and of course in that case the ensemble was bigger. So and again, for our purposes, chamber music at Levine covers also orchestral music, but our orchestras are designed so that you are not only playing but you're also learning. And that's why our orchestras are not huge. They are smaller so that you can, individual musicians can get more addressed.
I have to tell that, of course, we learn also in the big orchestras too. But the difference between the bigger orchestra learning and smaller orchestra learning, that in bigger orchestra learning occurs because you see the musician sits next to many other musicians who play exactly the same part. Typically, in chamber music, and I personally try to do my very best to follow this rule, each of the musicians in our ensembles or small orchestras, I try to give them individual parts so that they would have their own voice and they would know where they did something really great or didn't enter on time or something like that. And for me, any kind of music performance is essentially chamber music. Even in a huge big orchestra, musicians have to play every single note from the bottoms of their hearts and communicate and collaborate with each other. But our Levine's program, chamber music program, focuses on giving as many as possible opportunities to the young and adult musicians to explore themselves, to find the solutions to their to the certain performance techniques or something like that, and we try to build our program so that every performer would has his or her individual part and play it along with the other musicians. So I would say that just to compliment what Pravats said, that this is true that it was for the smaller rooms. Chamber music was composed, and the ensembles were smaller too.
One important detail about starting to play chamber music is that sometimes people think they have to wait until they become good enough, so to say, to play chamber music. And of course, there is some very complicated chamber music written, and obviously there is a way to enter the repertoire of chamber music gradually. So as an example, for example, if you have never played chamber music before, it probably would be a bit steep as a learning curve to start your chamber music studies with playing a quartet by Brahms. But if you start by playing some Baroque chamber music, and then you try some Haydn, music by Haydn, then you can, and I'm not saying just that that's the only way, but I'm just trying to illustrate it. It's the more you play chamber music, the more you get used to the language of the music, and then the hard chamber music becomes more approachable. So I think what's important is that people can start studying and playing chamber music at their relatively early intermediate level. And as we said, we actually have some string orchestras at Levine, which are for really beginning players, because there is a system.
We have orchestras that takes kids even without instruments. So they have 3 or 4 coaches in the orchestra. It was constructed by using the Venezuelan El Sistema, it's called, when they take the kids from the very young age and assign them the instruments, and they learn, and in 1 year kids do really great progress and play pieces together. And we always construct our academic year, so that in the beginning we start with the easier pieces and gradually increase the level of pieces. And I personally always blend Baroque music and classical music, a little bit of romantic music. You heard today the Serenade by Kalinikov, and you heard today some Handel and some Boyce.
And then modern music,
contemporary music. I think that I always looking, maybe there is some rap song that we can arrange for the orchestra too, because there are some really beautiful ones. Mm-hmm. So we always are looking for the new repertoire for our groups. So it's, I think, about 40 minutes as we tell you about our program. Mm-hmm. We hope you are not tired and you enjoyed our videos, and we are looking forward to seeing you at Levine. We're looking forward to seeing you in our concerts when the Levine opens, and we're looking forward, of course, to see you in our programs. Registration is well underway right now, and I know that there is a good number of musicians registering for solo instruments, for private lessons, and I get all the time registration for the chamber music, and I see that there is a significant amount of numbers over there of students registering for small and large groups. So we are looking forward to seeing you. We're asking you, please tell all your friends about our program. No matter where they live, we are welcoming all of them this semester, because Levine will be online definitely until January. So,
and actually Levine will have an online campus continuing after whenever live instruction resumes gradually. Levine will continue to have an online campus, and many or all of the classes will have you will be able to take classes online even after live instruction resumes. So in addition to the 5 beautiful campuses that Levine already has, which are around the DC area, Levine will have an online campus. So we look forward to hearing from you with any questions that you have, and we hope to see you in some of our programs.
Chamber music, one word, at levinemusic.org, and 202 445-0302. Text and call us. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening.
Bye.